Small and medium-sized enterprises make up around 97% of New Zealand businesses, with a large contribution to our gross domestic profit each year. Creating such an impact on the New Zealand economy means it is vital that the Consumer Guarantees Act of 1993 is both recognised and understood. So, who does the Act cover? The Consumer Guarantees Act covers consumers, suppliers, and businesses that trade goods and services. In Section 2 of the Act, trade is interpreted as being any means of trade, business, industry, profession, occupation, the activity of commerce, or undertaking relation to supply or acquisition of goods or services. The people who are covered by these titles are obligated to comply with the Act, as well as having rights within the Act. Consumers are the reason why transactions for goods and services exist. They are defined in the Act as a person who acquires from a supplier of goods or services of a kind ordinarily acquired for personal, domestic, or household use or consumption. This, however, does not restrict to just first-hand transactions. Consumers are also gift recipients, perform exchanges, leases, hire and hire purchases. Because of this, all consumers have rights within their transactions that businesses are expected to comply with. The term consumer is considered broad by the Consumer Guarantees Act, as it also covers businesses as purchasers. However, there are specific exemptions which prevent the consumer definition from applying, these being resupply trading, which is when goods are bought to on sale for profits when goods are used for businesses such as repairs, and if goods are consumed during production process.
Consumers are entitled to certain guarantees when purchasing goods or services. As a small to medium company, it's important to know what these guarantees are. One of the main guarantees is that the product or service must be of acceptable quality. According to Section 7 of the Consumer Guarantees Act 1993, for a product to be considered of acceptable quality, it must be fit for the intended purpose of the product, free from minor defects, safe, durable, and it must be acceptable in appearance and finish. All these conditions for quality would be regarded under the context of things such as the nature of the good, the packaging, the nature of the supplier, the price if relevant, and any representations made about the goods or services. Also, any other relevant situations for the supply of goods. Another main guarantee is the guarantee of fitness for purpose, which is mentioned in Section 8. For this guarantee, if a consumer specifically tells your business what they intend to use the product for, you need to ensure that the product you sell to them is fit for that purpose. Another guarantee is that the product must match their description. If you have a demonstration model, the product must match the demonstration model. Your business must also have the right to sell that product, meaning no money can be owed before selling the product. If no price is set or agreed upon, a consumer has the right to a reasonable price. If your company agrees to arrange delivery, the consumers should receive the good on time without damage. Additionally, if your company provides services, consumers are entitled to the guarantee of reasonable care and skill. The service is fit for their purpose, completion within a reasonable time frame, and a reasonable price.
After you understand what guarantee need to provide to consumers, you might be eager to know what rights consumers have when they are not satisfied with the goods or services. According to Section 18 of the Consumer Guarantees Act, if the goods or services provided by the supplier does not provide the appropriate care and skills, meet the specified quality requirements or any specified purpose, the consumer has a right to request, get repair, replace, return, and get discounts from suppliers. Consumers also can cancel the contract between them with the suppliers, even obtain the compensation of impairments loss in accordance with the law. The consumer also has the right to get remedies from suppliers, which in a reasonable time to minimize the loss. If there is no effective remedy, the collection for further services will also be accepted. In addition, consumers have the right to monitor and criticize when they are not satisfied with the goods or services. They can lodge complaints with producers or suppliers, and respond the dissatisfaction to the government or mass media.
Is it possible to contract out of the Consumer Guarantees Act? Well, it's actually not possible to contract out with consumer-to-business transactions, but it is possible to contract out with business-to-business transactions. According to Section 43, subsection 2 of the Act, in order to successfully contract out, you must follow certain provisions. Firstly, the agreement to contract out needs to be in writing. Both parties must be in trade, and lastly, the terms must be fair and reasonable. However, if a business buys a household item that is not used in the course of business, they can still be covered by the Consumer Guarantees Act, and therefore you cannot contract out. For example, say your company sells kitchen appliances, and an accountancy firm purchases some appliances for their office kitchen. Then, they are still covered by the Consumer Guarantees Act. Alternatively, if your company sells forklifts and a warehousing company intends to purchase from you, then you have the opportunity to successfully contract out with the Consumer Guarantees Act. This is because both parties are in trade, and the forklift will be used for storing and transporting things in their warehouse, meaning it is used in the course of their business.
So what are the consequences of the Consumers Guarantees Act on a business? The Consumers Guarantees Act protects consumers from goods and services that don't meet the required standards.
This means that for a business to comply with the Consumers Guarantees Act, it needs to ensure that products meet the expected level of quality and services meet the expected level of care. Additionally, businesses must supply goods and services within a reasonable price and time frame. As such, businesses need to invest heavily in quality control to ensure products are not faulty, and hire skilled workers to ensure services are fulfilled correctly. They must also keep track of ongoing orders so that deliveries and services are completed effectively and on time. All of these use time and finance resources, but do result in a higher quality for goods and services. When customers bring complaints about goods or services, it is important that a business handles these quickly and properly. This means a business will need employees to investigate and deal with customer complaints, and will also need to provide remedies for these complaints. Because the Consumers Guarantees Act gives consumers the rights to repair, replace or refund a faulty product, or to seek payment for cancelling a careless service, businesses in compliance with the Consumers Guarantees Act will incur these as expenses. Finally, any foreseeable damages caused by a faulty product or careless service are also claimable by customers, and these also translate into expenses for a business.
From touching on the importance of the Consumer Guarantees Act 1993, as a small to medium-sized business, the understanding of these concepts touched on in this video will be a benefit when it comes to the continuing success of trading and continuing to be a profitable business in New Zealand's growing economy.